I think as an artist, the great joy that I get from art is that artists have let me know I have a right to feel something. And so I grew up luckily in like a great renaissance of art where so much of like DMX's vulnerability allowed me to be vulnerable or understood what I was emotionally going through. So I think it's almost a duty for me to make sure that I allow my vulnerability to be in the work that goes out in the world. I'm much more concerned about that. For me, my vulnerability are reactions to things that has happened to me, a system. And I grew up in a world where we understood, oh, this is about a system. So Tupac's lyrics are about a system. And there was an industry to kind of constantly make the argument for him as an artist that that the people rapping about what's happening in the neighborhood is about rapping about what is happening, even though there were a kind of conservative push to place the blame on the artist. That was the conservative position back then. I think today the liberal position is if we are triggered or harmed by being uncomfortable by the artist, therefore we need to eliminate the art because that is really the violence. That I was triggered by this random artwork, and the violence is not like the fact that kids can't afford a cost of living, that people are feel more alone than they've ever felt, that all the statistics are going in the wrong direction if you're a 20-year-old kid right now. Your ability to imagine a climate in 40 years that is reasonable for you. And I think the liberal position in this art industry that has become that it is the artist who may be dealing with truths from their neighborhood is the problem, not the world that we're living in. And it's one of those things that I find the most disgusting narrative that has adopted in this industry. I actually have very little patience for it, as somebody who's actually seen the amount of violence that I've seen in life and understand what real violence is. I hope we don't scare artists away from that vulnerability. That we go, okay, thank you for being vulnerable. Now we understand how that anger manifests in you because of the world that's being created, and how do we deal with it? I do feel extremely positive in that we've made so much strides, it feels, but I do think the art industry has embedded in it a kind of hatred of the artist and a love of the system, which is really weird because I thought you became an artist because you wanted to challenge the system, not defend the system. It's like that's what punk is all about. That's what hip hop is all about. And then somehow it just became the opposite. It became like we're gonna hate the artist who just goes, "This is what I'm experiencing." So, but I'm hoping that we do. We fight more for artists to be vulnerable. I showed the team today a video of like this rapper NBA Youngboy, and he's doing these concerts, and the amount of people were at the concerts crying, I was like, wow. I feel fortunate that that young man has a hip hop industry around him that goes, he just needs to tell his truth. And because he did that, you could just see so many people going, thank you for sharing that with me, because that's the feeling I feel. Same with Taylor Swift, the amount of people who go, I feel so alone because we're not connecting as partners, lovers, boyfriends, girlfriends anymore. And Taylor Swift has managed to tell those stories in such a wonderful way that millions of people are willing to fly wherever, and it changes the entire economy because Taylor Swift has had her heart broken. It's incredible. So I hope we don't fight to take away artists' ability to, I hope we fight more for that vulnerability.